Says, hey mate, one of my new websites is ranking good earlier, but now it's nowhere. The site indexed, but not a single keyword is under 100 now. I just made profile links on the homepage. That's it. Earlier it was growing good, sitting on page 2 and 3, but now nowhere. Well, that's not cool.
If I had to guess, that pesky September update had something to do with this, but I guess we'll find out.
I'm going to PM you the URL, Nick, so you can look at it too.
Yes, sir.
And I'll get a screenshot up for the kids at home. Just bear with me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Yeah, so this is just a little screenshot of what it's doing on Ahrefs right now. So as you can see, organic search, or Ahrefs is saying it basically popped up for 1 traffic, which makes sense. He was saying his keywords were on like page 2 or page 3. So, you're realistically really not going to get too much traffic for keywords when they're there. And organic keywords, looks like he had almost up to 75, and they have been declining down to less than 50 now. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive into it a little bit deeper off screen and talk about it as we're doing it. We're not going to be able to show it to you guys just because we don't want to reveal his site or his links or any of that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the website itself too.
Yeah, I did that because we almost always skip directly to what's going on off page, but I think we can go ahead and solidify some issues that are going on right here on the homepage. One thing that I've noticed since not only the September update, but the one before it, is that having kind of orphan pages, those really got hit. And this website, for example, doesn't have anything in the menu. So you've got your homepage link branded, and then you've got an About Us and a Contact, but you have nothing else.
No blog page or anything.
No blog page, no categories.
Nothing in the footer either.
Yeah, so that right there, I think, are some quick things that you're going to want to fix. I'm guessing that maybe, let me click through a little bit. But I'm guessing that.
And so yeah, how you could fix that is you could add like for example, a blog button up at on your top menu, right? And it could just go to your blog reel to have all your blog posts, just spread your link juice around that way. You could have a categories button, and your categories could have maybe 10 whatever categories in there, linking to category blog reel pages essentially. Were you about to say something, Nick?
Yeah, based on that categories, that's what I was looking for. So if you go to an inner page, you'll see on the right-hand side on the sidebar, we've got recent posts, recent comments. Go ahead and trash that. Archives, trash that.
Yeah.
Categories. Now you've got 3 different categories. These are all relatively the exact same category if you think about it, right? Like they're different words for the same exact thing, basically.
Yeah.
I would split them up more based on niches, right? So like categories, you can have these 3, I guess, but personally, I would just trim it down to one of those being kind of like the master category, and then have subcategories based on, the different products, because this is a relatively large niche.
So what Nick is saying is instead of your categories being buying tips, product
Mm-hmm.
comparisons, and reviews, which are your three categories essentially right now.
Yeah, I
You
guess I
could
could have
change it
just said
to, and
that.
I'll use a different niche, but let's say the niche was like home stuff. So you should be like, kitchen accessories, uh, gardening tips,
There you go.
bedroom furniture. I don't know. You get the
Yeah,
point.
indoor, outdoor,
Yeah, exactly. So
whatever.
you make your categories about your, help Google understand like what your website is about, right? So your categories right now don't really break up your niche in any kind of meaningful way. You could apply these same categories to literally any niche. So you want to use your website to basically help Google very easily understand what are the main kind of sections of your site that you're going to be presenting yourself as an authority on.
Something else that I'm noticing. So I had a site that got hit pretty hard this September update. By pretty hard, I mean it really pissed me off. I mean, like they drained it, and it was doing very well. Big old authority site. They drained it. The main thing that I've been looking at and starting to play with is Google wants to see the content being spoken about from, first person basically. So I really like this thing because it does this blah blah blah, or this is one of our favorite items because of blah blah blah. And I'm noticing here that it looks like you're speaking about all these different things from, how I had content written for that other site as well, which is, this thing is good for this, this, and this. However, there's no, perspective from yourself, which may be something worth exploring a little bit based on what I've kind of been looking through.
Another thing is I just went ahead and I popped in as on page and SEO minion, and you've got
Hmm.
quite a bit you could do to this on page. Like so for right off the bat, you have two H1s, and then you have sorry, let me see where this is. You have like two like random H2s. You have one random H2 in your article out of like 10 headings. Only one of them is actually marked as an H2, and then your conclusion is marked as an H2, and then recent post is marked as an H2. So basically, you have your table of contents out here. Like, I would fix it so everything is just one deep. You don't need to go like 1.1, and 1.1.1 for this one. You could just have it all just one level deep if that makes sense. And yeah, I mean, do basic on page to it, which means one H1, and just make the rest of them H2s. And
Yeah.
if you want to break them down further, do H3s. There's no reason for you to have these headings here that you basically just they all look like H2s. You just don't have H tags on anything. Yeah, I mean
Another thing.
that's
Oh,
gonna
sorry.
Google. I got I was revamping some articles recently, and I did stuff like I went around and some sections that were really long, like it was like H2, and then it was really long. I'd break it up and have like maybe like three H3s underneath it and stuff like that. I was just like basically using H tags, not in a spammy way, but just to help better organize the article. And I got insane results from just basically cleaning up the article, doing stuff like that. Like Google, it really helps Google to understand like what's the main sections of the article are and that kind of thing. I mean, this is like, in our on-page SEO fundamentals article, this is like one of the major things that you need to be doing. So definitely do that as well. Do you
Yeah,
see
and
anything else, Nick?
yeah, interlinking. I'm not seeing any interlinking on any of these pages. And then furthermore, I'm seeing
I see some
some
outbound links
yeah, I see
or
outbound
one.
links, but using kind of, money anchors that might be better used, or informational type anchors that might be better used getting informational articles on your own website too.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, when I do outbound authority linking, I'm using more random or generic anchors, right? Because I don't want to point at somebody else's asset with a keyword that would make them look like more of authority on the subject matter than my own website.
Uh-huh.
So that's something to look at as well.
Yeah, so I mean, right off the bat, the website itself has a lot lacking to it. Um, you could go check out like our on-page SEO fundamentals article. That has like the most basic, like super duper important things that you have to do. No fancy bells and whistles. It's basically the playbook that we follow, the things that we make sure we absolutely do every time. Um, yeah, definitely.
But
Everything we've
overall,
said right now. If you just did everything that we said right now, even without looking at your off page, I think you would eventually see massive improvement.
yeah, overall though, I mean, like his content looks pretty good. It reads pretty well.
Yeah, so that's the good thing,
Everything is
right?
clean.
Like all the
Yeah, you
changes
just need
we've
to add
mentioned
some
are
stuff.
very easy, like very
Yeah.
easy changes. Like we're talking, you could go in and, spend like 5 minutes on each article and be fine. Um, I was also just one more thing. We don't need to talk about the on page anymore, but I was noticing on the home page. Here, let me run it through SEO minion real quick. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like the homepage is pretty lacking as well.
Yeah.
Get a good H1, get a good H1 in your on your homepage. Something about like what the whole website's about.
Yeah.
Just really utilize these H tags. That's just such a easy and important thing to do.
And
Um,
remember, if you're sending links to your homepage predominantly, which is, how we recommend building sites out, then you want your homepage to kind of be a network, right? Like it's the beginning hub page of everything that's behind your site. Personally, I like doing review style websites in like a newspaper fashion, where there is a bunch of, interlinking on the homepage, especially if you plan to link heavily to the homepage, then that's a good way to use that juice and kind of spread it out.
and one more thing. So for example, I clicked on one of the articles and it's like the whole article, the URL and the H1 are like how to do something. But then the whole article is like why you should do this thing.
Mm,
So like, these things need to match. How and why are two completely separate things. And I'm assuming they're going to have two completely different SERPs on Google.
I
Um,
would think so, right? I
yeah, I
mean,
mean,
you're gonna have to look into it
so
on
how
your
to
own, but
choose a product versus why you should use this type of product.
mm,
These are two completely different things. Um, yeah, just some more food for thought, right? But that's a 100% absolutely need to be changed because you're going to be basically messing with Google's like search intent kind of brain at that point, right? Because it thinks you're trying to rank for how, but your whole article is about why, and
hmm
it's going to have completely different results for each one of those things. And I'm just looking at one article now, so it was just your latest article, so it would be good to check that kind of stuff as well. Do you want to hop into the off page now, Nick?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll go ahead and we'll look at anchors first, I guess.
Yeah, for those of you
Anchors
that
look
don't know,
great.
whenever we're using Ahrefs, we typically have a similar cycle we go through, looking at the overall health on the main page,
Actually, he's
then
got
anchors.
his most used anchor is like, it doesn't, it's not like an exact match anchor, but it's a weird anchor to have. I thought it was his brand at first, but it's not.
Yeah, I think it's okay
It's just kind of
because it's not
strange.
like a money, but it is kind of strange. So like, best practice from here would be to maybe add some more branded. Well, you don't have a single branded anchor now that I'm looking at it, just naked URL.
But also, so look at what that anchor is,
Hmm.
and look what his domain is about,
Yeah.
and now look at what his articles are about.
They're all.
It doesn't match what the domain is supposed to be about and what his most used anchor is like telling Google that the website's
Yeah,
about.
it's a little bit off. I feel like, that I feel like he could get traction with this though.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, it's
overall,
same
his
kind of,
anchors look all right.
but it's just another thing that I think just kind of looks funky,
Mm,
But anyway, overall, that is not an exact match anchor, but it's a weird thing that you have. I mean, you only have 20 backlinks, and he has 11 of that one already. Just kind of
yeah.
strange.
Yeah, I would switch it up. And granted, they're very low quality links here too. They're
Yeah,
like, directory style things
yeah, I
or
think that's what he was saying. That's the only thing he built.
so it's really not anything you've got to worry about, just get some higher authority stuff. And so that's another big thing that's going on with your site is, you've got
Those solid
these
links.
remedial amount of pillow links basically, and you need some solid stuff. Especially the niche you're in is going to be fairly competitive, and the stuff that you're going over. I've seen countless websites in my years of SEO going after the exact same targets. So it's going to be pretty competitive, even without manually going in there. And then since September update, something else you're going to want to look at is for these SERPs that you're trying to access, what kind of websites are up there? Because what I've come to find too is for some sites that were lower authority, they've gotten beat out yet again by the high authority conglomerate style websites, Walmart, Amazon, etc.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up. The off page, your links, you just need to start. There's nothing wrong with your links. You just start building, quality links now. Some
Mm-hmm.
Despo, some niche edits, stuff like that. Just keep building them to your homepage for now. Natural anchors. You have 0 branded anchors at this point, so build some of those. Branded anchors, URL anchors, generic anchors. But yeah, definitely focus on adding some branded since you don't have any. That's an easy way to build some relevance to your website, and considering you have a very kind of like relevant domain name, right? So you can just really hammer that kind of your brand name, and it just builds a ton of relevance in that way without being seen as aggressive or something. But yeah, I don't see anything wrong at all with the off page. I think Google essentially is just deemed your website to be low quality. Would you say that's a
Yeah.
pretty fair assessment?
Yeah, maybe not just complete low quality, but like low authority, like, you don't really have much going on. The content is good,
Hmm.
but then there's a lot of pieces missing that we went over with the on page. And there's a lot of pieces missing from the off page as well. So
I
it's
think
just
I think Google
it's an
has kind
infant
of,
site.
but he was saying it was like he was page 2, page 3 for stuff, and now it's just nowhere.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
I
definitely
would
don't think he has any kind
venture
of
to
penalty. I think Google is just
no.
like, this is kind of, I don't know,
The
just.
September update really floored out a whole bunch of websites that
Mhm.
look and kind of run like this. You really got to be on point with everything that you're doing now.
But yeah, if you just focus on the things we talked about with your on page and then start slowly building some quality links to your homepage for now, you don't need to do any interpage links, just send them all to your homepage for now. I don't see you having any problems getting this thing back on track. I don't think it's a big problem or anything.
Hmm.
All right. Anything else to say on that one, Nick?
I don't think so.
Cool. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the links below for more info on this topic, as well as other cool stuff like SEO case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks, and happy ranking.